My wife was cheating on me. At the urging of her lover, Julian Vance, she had her best friend try to seduce me. But I'm a man with a strong moral compass. You come at me, I call the cops. After it happened for the third time, I had proven my unwavering loyalty, but my wife, Bella Collins, got arrested for organizing prostitution and ended up behind bars. Inside a private room at an upscale lounge, my wife, Bella Collins, was nestled in Julian Vance's arms. They sat wrapped around each other, exchanging loaded glances. A chorus of her friends started egging them on. Bella, now that Julian's back, isn't it time to kick that boring, simple guy to the curb? A smile spread across Bella's face. The divorce is happening, but I want him to walk away with nothing. She scanned the room. Who wants to help me bait Will Mason? Whoever succeeds gets $10,000. As soon as the words left her mouth, a woman named Crystal Chin shot up. Bella, your ace seductress is ready for deployment. The room erupted in laughter. Come on, seducing a straight-laced guy like Will Mason? That's child's play. Another friend, Sharon Lee, chimed in. Perfect, Bella said, beaming. You all can try. Whoever gets me a video of him cheating gets the cash. I had just gotten home from work, completely unaware that I'd been marked as a $10,000 bounty. I was just staring at our wedding photo on the wall, lost in thought. With so many gold diggers out there, are there any genuinely good guys left? I muttered to myself. I met Bella through a family friend. The first time I saw her, I was floored. She was pure, beautiful, and carried herself with an easy grace, like a starlet from a classic Hollywood film in a vintage gown. A woman this beautiful must have guys lining up around the block, I thought. On a whim, I decided to pursue her. At first, she was lukewarm, but then, out of nowhere, she suddenly agreed to be my girlfriend. We made it official quickly. It was only later, right before the wedding, that I found out the real reason she'd said yes. Her ex-boyfriend, Julian Vance, had just gotten married. She agreed to date me out of spite. My friends all warned me, you can't marry a woman like that. Her heart will always belong to her ex. Of course, I didn't listen. All I cared about was having her. What did I need her heart for? If she had a change of heart later, I could just find someone new. My phone rang. It was Bella. Hey, Will, something came up at work tonight, so I'm staying over at Claire's. Don't get any ideas. Okay, hope you sleep well, I replied. What kind of attitude is that? Beep, beep, beep. We both knew what was going on. I didn't understand why Bella still bothered with the act. She didn't call me honey anymore. She never came home. Why not just divorce me and be done with it? She was clearly having a great time sleeping with her ex, but still had to take time out of her busy schedule to check in with her husband. It must have been so tough for her. Not long after I hung up, there was a knock at the door. I looked through the peephole and saw Sharon Lee standing outside, holding a bucket of buffalo wings. Hey, Will, Bella isn't coming home tonight, so I brought you something to eat. The second I opened the door, Sharon shrieked and lunged forward. She slammed into me, and the food went flying everywhere. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did you get burned? Sharon cried out, her hands starting to roam all over my body. I quickly stopped her. Hey, what do you think you're touching? Oh, Will, you're so prominent, she gasped. She kept talking, but she never let go of me. We locked eyes, and a strange tension filled the air. Suddenly, Sharon leaned in and planted a quick, wet kiss on my lips. The smacking sound was deafening in the quiet night. I shoved her away. What the hell are you doing? Sharon just smiled and pressed herself against me again. Will, Bella sent me. She want me to seduce you so the security cameras in your apartment can catch you cheating. That way, she can force you to leave the marriage with nothing. She looked at me with what she probably thought was sympathy. Will, I feel so bad for you. You're so good to Bella, and she doesn't appreciate it at all. Look at me. I've been in love with you for as long as you've been married. With that, she leaned in for another kiss. I dodged, but she managed to smear a thick layer of foundation across my cheek. I pushed her back, pinching my nose. Sharon, look, I get what you're saying, but you should probably go take a shower first. You smell like hot sauce. Sharon finally looked down and realized the splotches of orange wing sauce all over her dress were, indeed, a turnoff. Okay, well, you wait for me. I'm super fast in the shower, she said. Hold on, I stopped her. You ruined your dress bringing me dinner. I just sent you $10,000. Go buy yourself a new one tomorrow. Sharon's eyes lit up with glee. That idiot Bella, she thought, tossing aside a diamond in the rough for that loser Julian. Once I land Will Mason, you'll all be calling me Mrs. Mason. While Sharon was in the shower, I dialed 911. Hello, I need to report someone offering illicit services at my residence. The address is the Sterling, Building 12, Apartment 1603. Okay, they're on their way. Great. I'll keep her here. When Sharon came out, I was casually playing on my phone. I glanced out the window and saw the flashing red and blue lights reflecting off the building across the street. A smile crept onto my face. Bella, Bella, Bella. Why all the cloak and dagger stuff? Did you really think you could make me walk away with nothing? You wanted to play dirty, so don't blame me for fighting back. The moment she was out of the bathroom, Sharon threw herself at me, her mind racing. This simple, rich husband is all mine now. I held her off, leaning in close. Let's play a game. Something a little more exciting. How exciting? Let's go out into the hallway. The thrill of doing it, combined with the fear of being caught. Imagine how intense that would be. You're so bad, she purred, grabbing my hand and pulling me toward the door without another word. As the front door swung open, Sharon felt a massive force shove her from behind. She stumbled out into the hallway, completely naked. The door slammed shut behind her with a deafening bang. What are you doing? Open the door. All my clothes are in there, she screamed, pounding on the door. I pulled out my phone, opened our building's resident Facebook group, and tagged everyone. At everyone, there's a naked woman outside, 12-1603. Looks like she's a prostitute making a house call. Instantly, the comments flooded in. Women called her shameless. Men suddenly had an urgent need to go out for a smoke and started heading toward my apartment. After a few more frantic pounds on the door, Sharon saw her next-door neighbor peek his head out. Ah, she screamed, scrambling to run up the stairs. But she heard footsteps coming down, one of the male residents from the floor above. She spun around and tried to run down, but more footsteps were coming up from below. Yeah. Sharon curled into a ball in the corner, covering her head and screaming. Finally, overwhelmed by sheer panic, she passed out. When she woke up, she was wearing a standard-issue jumpsuit and lying in an interrogation room at the police department. Officer, why am I in this? I'm not a criminal. I'm the victim here, Sharon yelled. Officer Davis looked weary. You were brought in without a stitch of clothing on. This is all we had on short notice. Hearing this, Sharon buried her face in her hands and burst into tears. What? I was brought to the station naked? How many people saw me? All right, calm down. You'd think a pro would be less concerned about this stuff, Davis said dismissively. You're the pro. Your whole family are pros, she shot back. Insulting an officer is only going to make this worse for you, Davis said, his tone hardening. That shut her up. Officer Davis continued. All right, Ms. Lee, we received a report that you were illegally providing special services. We have physical evidence and witness testimony. Just sign the confession here. Sharon was stunned. How did I become a prostitute? I fainted for a second, and when I wake up, I'm a hooker. I'm not signing that. I didn't do anything. What witness? What evidence? She demanded. Davis calmly explained. This is the $10,000 payment you received from Mr. Will Mason, and these are the statements from the onlookers. Seeing the evidence, Sharon became hysterical. He's lying. He's lying. That $10,000 was to replace my dress. In another room, I was giving my own statement to Detective Russo. She came in and immediately started kissing me, grabbing me, touching me all over. I told her I didn't want any of those services, but she wouldn't stop. She said if I didn't give her $10,000, she'd accuse me of rape. What was I supposed to do, detective? I've heard how those accusations go. One word and you're screwed, facing years in prison. Detective Russo countered, but Ms. Lee claims the $10,000 was for a ruined dress. I threw my hands up in exasperation. Detective, what kind of dress costs 10 grand? Is it studded with diamonds? Besides, I didn't ruin her dress, she did. Why would I pay for it? After half an hour of separate questioning, Sharon Lee was detained for solicitation. Facing a criminal record, she finally broke down and confessed everything. How Bella had put her up to it, Bella's affair with Julian Vance, and the entire scheme to force me into a divorce where I'd get nothing. It all came out in a torrent of detail. Bella was summoned for questioning and admitted to her part in it, thinking it was just a harmless prank. Why was everyone blowing it out of proportion? When Bella walked out of the station, she showed no remorse. The first thing she did was launch into tirade. I just asked my friend to play a little joke on you. Do you really have to make such a big deal out of it? I let out a cold laugh. Must have been hard for you, having to climb out of Julian Vance's bed in such a hurry. Her face froze for a second, then twisted in anger. What are you talking about? There's nothing going on between Julian and me. If you dare slander him again, I'm divorcing you. Usually, when she threatened me with divorce, I'd fall all over myself trying to appease her. But that was when I thought she was clean. Right. He deposits his nothing into you, so I guess there's nothing between you, I said sarcastically. You son of a bitch. Bella screamed, swinging her hand to slap me. I caught her wrist easily. Been watching too many soap operas? You think slapping people is that easy in real life? I stared her down. I have the police report, and I have Sharon's official statement detailing your affair. Be smart and sign the divorce papers. Otherwise, Don't blame me when I send copies of everything to the dean at your university. Bella's composure finally shattered. A flurry of emotions crossed her face before she softened her tone. I was just trying to help Sharon out to share some of the blame. I was just playing along with her story. You can't possibly take that seriously. She reached for my arm. Come on, well, I know I've been distant lately with work being so busy. Let's just go home. It's been a while since we've been close. I yanked my arm away. You have 1 month to finalize this divorce. If you don't, I'm filing myself, and things will get very public. A scandal wouldn't look good for a university lecturer, would it? The coldness in my eyes seemed to frighten her. The man she could once wrap around her finger now looked like a caged animal. Back at the apartment she shared with Julian, Bella immediately started complaining. Julian, well, knows everything about us. He's giving me 1 month to divorce him, and he's only offering me 30% of our shared assets. Julian, of course, wouldn't stand for it. No way. Your joint assets are worth nearly $2 million. Even a 50-50 split would get you an extra $400,000. But he has proof of my affair. I sent Sharon to seduce him, but not only did it fail, that idiot confessed everything about you and me, the whole plan. Bella fumed. Julian pulled her into a hug. It's okay. The only reason it didn't work is because you're too beautiful. After being with someone like you. Of course, he wouldn't be interested in someone as plain as Sharon. His eyes gleamed. Send Claire Miller. With her face and that body, won't be able to resist. Once you have dirt on him, he'll have no choice but to play ball. A lecherous grin spread across his face. He wouldn't mind a piece of a woman like Claire himself. That night, Bella went to see Claire. Claire, I need you to do your big sister a favor, Bella said. A wide smile plastered on her face. What kind of favor? Claire asked, confused. Bella leaned in and whispered her plan into Claire's ear. No, absolutely not. Claire recoiled. Bella, that's wrong. Will is so good to you. We're all jealous of how he treats you. Why would you need to test him like this? Claire, I'm just asking you to test him. If he's truly faithful, what's there to be afraid of? Besides, Bella's voice turned persuasive. Your mother has that heart condition, and your sister needs money for tuition. If you do this for me, I'll give you $10,000. The mention of her mother's medical bills and her sister's school fees made Claire fall silent. After a long pause, she finally nodded. Okay, what do you need me to do? Bella's face lit up. You're on a contract at the university, and you're about to be let go anyway. I'll recommend you to Will as his new executive assistant. Once you're working closely with him, just drop a few hints here and there. That's all. The next day, I received Claire Miller's resume. She's a contract employee at the university. You've met her before, Bella explained over the phone. With budget cuts, she's likely to be laid off, so I thought she could be your new assistant. When I got the resume, I didn't even look at it. Just hearing Claire's name brought back the image of a woman who was both innocent and intoxicating. I'd first seen her in Bella's office. She was sitting next to Bella, diligently grading papers. The way her brow would furrow in concentration and then relax into a smile was a captivating mix of sweet and playful. One look and I was hooked. The more I got to know her, the more I saw it. A gentle personality contrasted with an alluring look in her eyes. I found myself thinking I had gotten married way too soon. Fine, I said, feigning magnanimity. Consider it my last favor to you before the divorce. On Claire's first day, I handled her onboarding personally, setting up her security badge, moving her computer, cleaning her desk space. The other employees stared in disbelief. Was this the same quiet, reserved CO? Claire, this is the keyboard, this is the mouse, and this is the monitor. Mr. Mason, I know what these are. Here, Claire, let me show you how to use the mouse. With that, I placed my hand over hers, guiding it as we clicked around the screen. Left click to select, right click for more options. Mr. Mason, I know how to use a mouse. You can just give me my assignments, Claire said, her face flushing red. Okay, in that case, you can teach me how to use a mouse, I replied with a perfectly straight face. Claire was bewildered. Wasn't I supposed to be testing him? It feels more like he's testing me. The day of work, or rather, the day of being constantly hit on, finally ended. Claire let out a long sigh of relief. Finally, I can go home. But then she heard my voice from behind her. Claire, let's grab dinner together after work. Oh, she groaned. Why couldn't she catch a break? What's with that face? Are you telling me it's a chore to have dinner with me? Have you already forgotten what I taught you today? This company is your home. Your colleagues are your family. That's the corporate culture here at Mason Dynamics. At a high-end restaurant, I kept putting food on Claire's plate. When she didn't eat, I personally picked up a spoon and held it to her lips. Here, Claire, eat this. Blushing, Claire opened her mouth and ate, her mind racing. A man who acts like this Do I even need to test him? Not far away, Bella and Julian, disguised in hats and masks, periodically raised a camera to snap photos. I made no attempt to be discreet. I moved to the seat next to Claire. Claire, to be honest, I've been in love with you since the first time I saw you. I'm not one to hide my feelings. I love who I love, and I don't who I don't. I'm telling you right now, I love you. So, tell me, do you love me back? Claire paused mid-bite. I haven't even started testing him, and he's already laying it all on the table. You love me? But what about Bella? She managed to say. Please, I scoffed. You've probably seen it yourself. For the last 6 months, some guy named Julian Vance has been picking her up from work. Her heart left me a long time ago. Not only that, I continued, she's been conspiring with her lover to take me for everything I have in the divorce. Hearing this, Claire's eyes reddened. So, was the one who's been suffering. And here I am, agreeing to help Bella seduce him for a little bit of money. I'm a terrible person. For the rest of the meal, Claire's spirits were low. Before long, she said she was finished and wanted to go home. I got up to walk her out. As we passed a waiter, I pointed in Bella's direction. My wife is paying the bill tonight. The waiter smiled at me and walked straight over to Bella's table. Terrified of being recognized, Bella pulled the brim of her hat down. But the waiter simply presented the payment terminal. Ms. Collins, your total comes to $30,800. Bella was dumbfounded. I ordered 2 cups of coffee, and you're charging me over 30 grand? What's in your coffee, Diamonds? You must be joking, Ms. Collins. The waiter replied politely. This is your husband's bill. Please have a look. Bella snatched the receipt. Her eyes widened as she scanned the list of items, each costing tens of thousands of dollars. Wild-caught king salmon, foie gras, beluga caviar, Perigord black truffles. I'm not paying this. We're divorced. He's not my husband, Bella protested. In that case, I'll have to charge it to your club membership card, the waiter said smoothly. A moment later, a text message alert chimed on Bella's phone, confirming a $30,800 charge to her account. Storming out of the restaurant, Bella found Claire. Claire, do you want that money for your mother or not? Back there, why didn't you just fall into his arms? Why didn't you kiss him? Why didn't you say something suggestive? Claire looked at her coldly. I don't want it. I don't want any of your money. My family and I can be sick, we can be poor, but we will not live without a conscience. A sneer formed on Bella's lips. Oh, really? Then take a look at this. Bella played a video on her phone. It was a clip from dinner, showing me feeding a bite of food to Claire. If you don't cooperate, I can send this to your mother. And I won't just send it. I'll go to her hospital room and make a scene. I'll tell everyone you're a homewrecker who seduced my husband. I wonder if her weak heart can handle the shock of seeing her precious, perfect daughter stooping so low. You, how can you be so shameless? Claire stammered, shaking with rage. Enough drama. Just get Will to a hotel room, and the $10,000 is yours, instantly, Bella said. A hotel room? You can forget it. I'm not asking you to sleep with him. Just get him into a room. That's all. If you keep arguing with me, I'm going to your mother's hospital right now. At the mention of her mother, all the fight went out of Claire. Fine. Okay. In the office, Claire was a nervous wreck. Bella had ordered her to get me to a hotel room today. But what excuse can I use to ask my boss to a hotel? She wondered. Seeing her anxious state, I asked, Claire, is something on your mind? Mr. Mason, you've been so good to me. I wanted to get a room too. Thank you, she stammered. I did a spit take with my seltzer water. For real? Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go now. I grabbed her hand and called my assistant, telling him to buy a box of strawberry condoms and wait for me downstairs. We rushed out of the office and stormed into the hotel. Bang! I slammed the hotel room door behind us and, without wasting a second, planted a kiss on Claire's lips. MMPH. What are you doing? Claire pushed me away. You said you wanted to thank me, right? Well, come on. Thank me, I said, tossing my suit jacket onto the sofa. I waited for her to start her thank you, but instead, she pulled a portable speaker out from under the bed, picked up a microphone, and started to sing. I come from nowhere like a speck of dust. Who can see how fragile I am? Where do I come from? Where does my heart belong? Who will call my name in the next moment? The melody was gentle, her voice beautiful. I listened closely. Wasn't this? You raise me up? Sure enough, as the chorus hit, the iconic lyrics filled the room. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. After she finished, I was completely baffled. This is how you thank me. I'm calling the cops. This is fraud. I took out my phone, hit the speed dial for 911, then moved closer to Claire, tilting her chin up. Claire, you've worked hard. This is way outside your job description, so I have to give you a bonus. I immediately transferred $10,000 to her account. When Claire saw the notification on her phone, she was horrified. This is way too much. I can't accept it. I simply took her phone and hit accept for her. Then I said gently, Claire, just take it. I know it's not easy for you, supporting your mom and your sister. Her eyes immediately welled up with tears. Mr. Mason, you're too good to me, she choked out. I patted her shoulder. Claire, you might have to suffer a little bit soon, but trust me, I will make sure you have a good life. She looked up at me, her eyes glistening. As our gazes met, a powerful feeling rose between us. With a soft sound, our lips met. Outside the hotel, Bella and Julian, who had been lying in wait, finally emerged from their hiding spot. Bella, it's been 5 minutes. It should be happening by now. If we don't go up soon, I'm worried we might already be finished, Julian said. Bella's expression darkened. Julian is a great guy in so many ways, she thought, but he never lasts more than a few minutes. He was projecting his own limitations onto me. 5 minutes was the longest he could imagine. She didn't know how to explain to him that after years of marriage, she knew better than anyone just how much stamina I had. Let's wait a little longer. Maybe he took something, she replied. Inside the room, the temperature was rising fast. Under my advances, Claire had lost all sense of time and place. She was like a lamb, pliant and trusting in my arms. When the last of her reservations fell away, revealing something vulnerable and perfect beneath, I couldn't hold back any longer. I leaned in to savor the exquisite delicacy before me. I can't wait anymore. Let's go bust them, Julian yelled. He grabbed the camera, pulled Bella along, and charged into the hotel. A sharp knock, knock, knock echoed at the door. I whispered to Claire, whatever the police say in a minute, just agree with them, understand? My sweet little lamb. Claire, just coming down from the haze of passion, simply nodded. The sound of multiple footsteps grew louder outside. I didn't hesitate. I pulled the door open. Finally caught you in the... Bella shouted as she burst into the room. But before she could finish, a group of police officers stormed in right behind her. Police. Routine inspection. Everyone freeze, an officer commanded. They rounded all of us up and took us away. You again? Detective Russo said when she saw me. She was the one who had taken my statement when I reported Sharon. I looked her in the eye with an expression of pure righteousness. I cannot and will not stand idly by in the presence of evil. Russo cracked a smile. All right, tell me how you made contact with a woman this time. My wife, Bella Collins, introduced us, I said, my voice full of regret. She's cheating on me, but wants to leave me with nothing, so she keeps sending her best friends to seduce me. The terrible thing is, I have no self-control. They bait the hook, and I fall for it every single time. Russo had to fight to keep a straight face. So why did you call the police? Because my upbringing won't allow me to see someone in trouble and not help. Today they seduce me. Tomorrow it could be someone else. I can't bear to see these young women go down the wrong path. A muscle twitched in Russo's cheek. You certainly have a strong sense of justice. Emboldened by the praise, I pressed on. Detective Bella Collins is corrupting innocent women, pressuring them to seduce me. You have to charge her with organizing prostitution. A charge of organizing requires a pattern of at least 3 separate incidents. She doesn't meet that standard yet, Russo explained. A wave of elation washed over me. So, I'm just one incident away. If I just try a little harder, I can get Bella sent to prison. Meanwhile, Claire and Bella were being questioned in separate rooms. Ms. Collins, you're becoming a regular here, Officer Davis warned. This is the second time you've solicited a woman to provide services to Will Mason. I'm giving you a formal warning. If there is a next time, you'll be facing prison time. Bella was completely unfazed. Don't try to scare me. We're a married couple playing some games. What's the big deal? Prison? Do I look like a 3-year-old to you? Claire, on the other hand, was bewildered. I'm not a prostitute. We're in love. Davis rolled his eyes. In love? You got a hotel room, and he paid you $10,000. Claire started to explain, but then my words from the hotel room echoed in her mind. Whatever the police say in a minute, just agree with them, understand? My sweet little lamb. My voice seemed to wrap around her. Well, it wouldn't hurt me, she thought to herself, and she lowered her head. The police finally concluded, whether you're in love or had other intentions, any such activity involving payment is against the law. I was the first one to finish my statement. As I walked out, I saw Julian hiding around a corner in the hallway out of the corner of my eye. My assistant, who had come to pick me up, asked, Mr. Mason, are you okay? This won't go on your record, will it? An idea struck me. I sighed loudly. Man, I'm just lucky she didn't send Crystal Chun after me. I have a major weakness for women in leopard print and black stockings. Out of all her friends, Crystal is the only one I'd have zero resistance to. We walked out the main entrance and got in the car. From the hallway, Julian peeked out, a triumphant smirk on his face. Ah, so we'd just been sending the wrong person. When Bella came out, Julian eagerly shared the crucial piece of intel he had overheard. Bella, it turns out, was only interested in Crystal. I was hiding in the hallway and heard him say it himself. Bella frowned, skeptical. Really? A woman like Claire wasn't enough, but Crystal would be. You don't get it, Julian explained. Will likes them wild. He's into Crystal's leopard print outfits and her long legs and black stockings. After leaving the station, Claire didn't go back to the office. She went to the hospital to see her mother. She had planned to pay the overdue medical bills, but the $10,000 I gave her had been confiscated as evidence. Will knows I was working with Bella to set him up. I've definitely lost my job, she thought miserably. Watching her mother sleeping peacefully, she had no idea how she was going to tell her they were out of money. Tears started to well up, and she began to sob quietly at the bedside. The drops fell onto the blanket, darkening the fabric. As if sensing her distress, her mother's eyes fluttered open. Claire, why are you crying? It's nothing, Claire said, quickly wiping her face. She rushed out of the room and went straight to her mother's doctor. Dr. Evans, can we have a few more days to pay my mother's bill? Dr. Evans looked at her, confused. Your boyfriend was just here. He paid for your mother's medical expenses for the entire year. Boyfriend? I don't have a boyfriend, Claire said, stunned. What? Isn't Will Mason your boyfriend? He paid the bill and left just a few minutes ago, Dr. Evans replied. Claire immediately ran out of the office and spotted me near the hospital exit. Well, wait, she called out, breathless. She caught up to me, panting for a moment before she could speak again. Thank you. I turned to look at her, a gentle smile on my face. Then I brushed her hand off my arm and continued walking toward the river that ran alongside the hospital. The water wasn't too deep, but the current was swift. I made a beeline for the guardrail. Will, what are you doing? Claire screamed, grabbing onto me, but she was no match for my strength. I easily shook her off and pretended to climb over the railing. She had no choice but to wrap her arms around me, holding on for dear life. Don't stop me, I yelled, my voice cracking with emotion. My wife betrayed me, then had her friends seduce me. You knew I liked you, but you worked with Bella to get me arrested. Now everyone at the company thinks I hire prostitutes. What's the point of living anymore? What is the point? Claire held on tighter, pleading with me. You didn't hire anyone. I was with you because I wanted to be. I turned to face her. Really? Even if that's true, it doesn't matter. My colleagues will never believe it. Then what do you want me to do? She asked, tears streaming down her face. Marry me, I said, my voice suddenly calm and serious. If you marry me, then everything we do is legal. There's no crime to talk about. Okay, I'll marry you, Claire said without a moment's hesitation. On the outside, I remained perfectly stoic. On the inside, I was ecstatic. Bella, if you had introduced me to a friend like this before we got married, I never would have looked twice at you. But you and Bella aren't divorced yet. How can you marry me? Claire asked. It's fine. We'll date for now. As soon as I get her sent to prison, we'll get married immediately, I replied. After Claire and I made it official, I stopped depositing a single cent into our joint marital account. Bella's salary was only $5,000 a month, which wasn't even enough for herself, let alone for supporting a deadbeat like Julian. Seeing the writing on the wall, Julian started getting anxious. Bella, you need to get Crystal on this now. If that doesn't work, just take the 50-50 split and divorce him. Bella knew she couldn't drag this out any longer. She transferred $10,000 to Crystal and told her to go seduce me. Crystal, remember, do not take any money from Will. If you do, he'll use it to report you for prostitution, Bella warned. Crystal casually agreed, then slipped on a pair of black stockings, put on her highest heels, and headed out. You think I'm doing this to seduce him? Honey, I'm here to become the next Mrs. Mason, she thought to herself. I met Crystal at a chic cocktail lounge. I had to admit, the long legs and black stockings were a killer combination. All I could think about was how incredible Claire would look in that outfit. Seeing my lecherous expression, Crystal gave me a smug smile. She struck a pose, maximizing the view of her best assets. Like what you see, Will? She asked, her voice a low purr. Long, smooth, and pale. Want a closer look? I reached out and gave her thigh a firm squeeze. It was perfect. Ouch, you're naughty, she squealed, playfully tapping my forehead. I'm not an easy woman, you know. If you want me, it has to be for keeps. We're talking marriage. I played along. Okay, Crystal, I only want you. I pulled her into an embrace and took out my phone to transfer her money. She remembered Bella's warning and stopped me. No, you're just trying to set me up so you can report me, aren't you? I held her tighter. Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to marry you if I don't get Bella sent to prison first? It was like a light bulb went off in her head. Oh, right. You think I'm here for your chump change? I'm here to take over the whole damn house. Convinced, she started kissing me passionately and even offered a suggestion. Why don't we just get a room upstairs, and I'll call Bella and tell her to come over? You're a little genius, you know that? I said. We exchanged a knowing smile and headed upstairs together. While we were getting ready, Crystal called Bella, and I called the police. Hello, 911. I need to report an incident of prostitution. Hey, Bella. The Azure Lounge, room 201. We're getting started in 5 minutes. Everything went according to plan. When Bella burst into the room with the police right behind her, Crystal and I were tangled up in the sheets, putting on quite a show. Police. Routine inspection. Everyone get your heads down and move to the corner, an officer shouted. We were all rounded up and hauled away. At the police station. Hey, Mun, you're back, Officer Davis said with a sigh. Yeah, I replied, trying to look embarrassed. Officer, I want to formally report Bella Collins for organizing prostitution, I said, all business. I want you to press charges immediately. According to state law, organizing 3 or more such incidents constitutes a felony. The perpetrator can be sentenced to 5 to 10 years in prison. I trust you will enforce the law impartially. I had come prepared this time, legal statutes and all. Davis looked at me, a flicker of disbelief in his eyes. He must have been thinking what a bizarre couple we were. One is desperately trying to catch her husband cheating, and the other is systematically trying to send his wife to prison. I'm so glad I'm not married. Marriage is terrifying. You don't need to remind me. We have a zero-tolerance policy for crime, Davis replied dryly. In her interrogation, Crystal insisted that Bella had sent her and that she had accepted $10,000 from me. Yes, officer, you're right. I'm a prostitute. I admit it. 100%, she declared loudly. In the end, Bella Collins was formally detained. An officer read her rights in a stern, official tone. Ms. Collins, based on your suspected involvement in organizing prostitution, we are transferring your case to the district attorney's office. You're framing me. You're framing me. Bella's screams were piercing, but the law is unforgiving. All she could do was wail in her holding cell. During her detention, Bella repeatedly asked to see me. Under pressure from her parents, I finally agreed to one visit. Will, please, go tell the police that Crystal and the others weren't selling themselves. Please, she begged, her eyes wide with desperation. If I did that, I'd be admitting to filing a false police report, I thought. I would never do something so illegal. But on the surface, I agreed. Okay, Bella, you just focus on rehabilitating yourself in here. I'll go talk to the police right now. Of course, I didn't. I walked out without a second glance. Bella was ultimately sentenced to 5 years. By the second year of her sentence, I had successfully filed for divorce, officially ending our marriage. Seeing the look of utter despair in her eyes was unsettling, but all I could think was, you reap what you sow. The last time I saw her, I made her a promise. Don't worry, Bella. I'll make sure Julian gets sent in here to keep you company. Her pupils dilated in horror. No, please don't, she pleaded. I stood up and smiled. Oh, Bella, don't be shy. I know that when a woman says no, she really means yes. After the divorce, I gave the $200,000 she was entitled to from our assets directly to her parents. This drove Julian insane. He had been Bella's side piece for so long, and in the end, he got absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, an ecstatic Crystal Chun found me. Will, congratulations on your freedom. Let's go get our marriage license today. I pulled Claire forward, flashing the brand-new wedding ring on her finger. Sorry, I'm already married. Crystal's face twisted in rage. What? You chose her over me? At my request, Claire was wearing a short skirt and black stockings that day. I pointed to the elegant lines of her legs and smirked. You tell me, was it a tough choice? You bastard. I'll kill you. Crystal shrieked and lunged at me, but security guards grabbed her and threw her out. I crouched down and patted her head. Don't be so greedy. You may not get to be the boss's wife, but I can still give you a chance to make some money. She glared at me. What kind of chance? I smiled. First, you'll do this, then you'll do that. It's simple. When it's done, I'll give you $50,000. The prospect of earning 50 grand so easily made Crystal's attitude do a complete 180. Wow, Mr. Mason, you're so generous. If we can't be husband and wife, it's great to be friends. That night, Crystal organized a get-together with her friends and made sure to invite Julian. He looked haggard. Years ago, his family's company had gone bankrupt, and he'd resorted to latching onto a wealthy older woman. He then got caught cheating on her and was promptly kicked to the curb. During their marriage, she had helped him pay off $600,000 of his debt, After the divorce, he was left to deal with the remaining $400,000 on his own. His plan had been to use Bella to fleece me and get back on his feet, but not only did he not get the money, he'd ended up getting Bella sent to prison. At the party, Crystal ignored Julian and bragged loudly to her friends, "You won't believe it, but that Will Mason is still so hung up on Bella. He actually paid me $50,000 to buy the video of her with that male escort." Sharon Lee, who was sitting nearby, laughed. "Seriously? What's he going to do with that?" "You know men and their pride," Crystal said with a shrug. "He's probably scared I'll release it, and everyone will know he was cuckolded." The group of friends roared with laughter. Listening in, an idea sparked in Julian's mind. "I have tons of videos of me and Bella together. If I use those to threaten Will, I could probably blackmail him for millions." He decided to act immediately. That night, he sent me one of his sex tapes with Bella and demanded $100,000. Without a second thought, I transferred him the money. Then, I immediately called the police. Julian was as giddy as a child on Christmas morning. One video clip got me $100,000. I got 18 more. Does that mean I can get one? 8 million? He mused. But just as he was preparing to extort me for a second payment, the police arrested him. Extorting someone for $100,000 is a major felony. He was sentenced to 5 years. I heard that Julian Vance was a model prisoner working hard at his rehabilitation. He and Bella Collins didn't manage to go to prison in the same year, same month, and same day, but they were on track to get out around the same time. As for me, I'm Mary Claire Miller. By day, she was my executive assistant. By night, she was my personal succubus. And of course, every once in a while, I'd let her play the role of my boss.